Don't you know that the music should be solemn?
I didn't. Now I turned it on.
Did you turn it on now?
I turned it on now.
Well, how do I look? How do I?
I asked if you were going to sit like that.
And I said, why? Am I turned on? And you went, no, not yet. You fuck around with me like that all the time. So now with that grin, with that smile, I'm on. Am I on?
You're on.
Okay, how do I look sitting like that?
Well, then it's cutting off your head. It's too close.
Right. How's that?
Mustache is very nicely shaved, but it's very close. So there it's good. I get the
How's
light
that?
switch there. It makes me want to like hit the light switch. I'm in a new position in this hotel room. I'm moving around. This is the diary of a madman.
You're in a bit of a dunce corner. I got to tell you, you're in the corner with your hat on, like the teacher. Teacher Spicaric went, get in the corner, Theo.
Get in the corner.
Get in the corner.
This is the only place in the hotel room that has light.
Good lighting today, son.
It's good lighting.
No, it's very good. I know you're eating well. I know you're down to 103 pounds, dripping wet, but the lighting's good. Teeth, beautiful.
Good. Yeah,
I like this. What's going on? You getting ready?
I'm getting ready. I've been ready. But yeah, I'm trying to find a new place in this, because I am in full lockdown. I don't go anywhere or do anything.
You're not allowed.
Not allowed.
You're a big shot on a big production, and they want to keep you safe, and you're doing the right thing, and you're running a bit, you're jogging a bit, you're eating a bit, you're playing by the rules, and you're working with some really huge people, almost of your stature. Almost. And here we go, man. 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is.
So I'm in the corner. And I do weird things. Like I walk, thank God it's a pretty big room. And what I do is I go sit certain places and read. Sometimes I go to different parts of the room. Do
you talk to yourself? Do you go,
all the
Theo?
time?
I'm over here now.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it all the time. But I got to tell you, you and I have talked about this. You and I have had extremely busy lives. Thank God, I'm married. I have 2 young kids. I have a pretty extremely active life, I would say, like you.
Very active. Younger kids, mine are older, but yours are younger, beautiful boys. Go ahead.
But just busy. So what's really interesting, because it's incredibly helpful for the character, which you know about, but also like the straight isolation. I'm doing things like picking up drawing, like we talked about, and that I haven't done in 20 years, that I used to do all the time, and reading and doing all that, the self-imposed, like full isolation, like, go out for walks, do the runs in the morning. But besides that, ordering food, it's crazy.
I think it's amazing that you, because of the isolation and because of the character and because Meg and the girls are back home and we're doing all the right things for COVID and all this, but this gig that you're on and the guy that you're about to play, when you told me, and I remember this about you, when you told me that you used to draw, you were an artist, and how ironic is what's going on with Reaper Reviews, with these incredible peeps out there who are sending you, me, all these sketches and drawings and paintings, and it's just off the freaking hook.
Yeah.
And now to hear that you, with the curly top, trying to be a Kim Coates Jr., can actually draw, which I forgot about. I don't know, son. I mean,
they're going to draw you. They're going to draw you with the way you look right now. And then, because I try to bring a different frock to the show every week.
That's a big word for you.
I try to bring a different frock. This is the Grease 2 frock, right? The Adrian Zemed or whatever it is. I try to
very in love with that hairstyle.
Yeah, and I bring this, and then it gives them a different view. I'm in a different area. It kind of looks like a stage curtain behind me, King Lear style.
Open the curtain, bring him out.
I'm coming out. Big first scene, and
God, that's great.
This is what it is. And I got to tell you.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Now that reminded me of that dance we used to do.
You, me, and Tommy. Yeah, we used to
do that. That's an inside joke.
Man.
That's an inside joke to something to do with Sons that one day we'll tell you.
Well, no, we're going to talk about it when we get to that show. Because I'll never forget when we did the show. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about it.
Doesn't matter. That was my favorite ever. You know, it's funny because we're back in season 1 right now, and this was this was a hard reverse because we went from the end of season 3 where we were all starting to look different, sound different.
Yeah, man.
Back. We went back in time, Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox style, right? We went back.
Yeah. Wow. Great analogy, actually.
Thank you. And I got to tell you, to go back to this episode, this is 106, AK-51. It made me think of the one thing that kept going through my head, because you and I had spoken, you had watched it before me. I had no idea you weren't in this episode because we've done a bunch that I wasn't in, and you weren't in this.
Now it's my turn. I'm not in this.
Now it's your turn. But what was so interesting is what I kept thinking, the word that kept popping into my head while I was watching was growth. Like, and what I meant by that was like people's dialects changed. Like Charlie sounded different. People looked different. People had gained weight, lost weight. People acted different. Like we were better. Like you got better, of course. You know what we've said before. Sanford Meisner, 20 years to be a good actor. But like this was like even just 2 years later, like better. Everybody was getting better. The writing was tighter. That this was different.
Wow, good point, son. I totally agree.
And I just kept thinking that, and I'm not saying that I didn't love the episode because I absolutely loved it, but it was shaped different. So you could tell like this is only 106. The writers were writing different. The storylines were different. And I just kept seeing like growth. So I really can't wait to get into it. But, before we do, let's talk about, we both put out that thing that the show has, grown tremendously. We're having our best month ever across all platforms, YouTube, Apple, Spotify.
It's really taken off, Theo. It's really amazing. Keep going.
Yeah, it really is. And it just shows that, people just want to be not just entertained, but I think that they want to hear, two real human beings who are just having real conversations with no agenda. There is zero agenda here at all. And I know that the Sam fam feels the same way. None of us do. Even the amazing people who tweet all day, from Reggie and all the different people and Sarah and everybody who's tweeting and doing their thing all day. Like there's no agenda on any of us. We're just trying to like be happy and have fun and do our thing. And at the same time, laugh and kind of enjoy this show. That was a different time in the world. But next week.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We've got something to say, don't we?
What are we doing?
Well,
don't say who. Don't say
I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
But, you and our team decided we're going to bring someone on.
Yeah.
We're going to bring someone on, and I'm excited. It's going to be like before Christmas next week. It'll be like, wow, here we go. I'm going to leave this up to you, son. Whenever we tell who, what's the.
Yeah. And to tell everybody, the format that we're kind of thinking is like, we're going to do our next episode next week, which will be 107, right? We're going to do next week. And, you and I will kind of get into the episode a little, do what we do, and then we'll take a break and we'll have someone on for like 20 minutes, that used to be on the show or was part of the show. We'll get into it. Obviously, we're not going to ask them to analyze the episode because that's silly, right? And then we'll just
they're going to say no anyway. They're just going to go. Yeah. I'm too busy. My Learjet's waiting out in the tarmac. I can't.
Not doing that.
I don't have time.
So we'll shoot the shit. We'll do our thing, and then we'll get back and wrap up the episode. And I think that I'm excited about it. There's no one else I'd rather start with, because it's just the way it is. Our trailers were connected and we were connected, and it's going to be a fun little threesome. That sounds wrong.
No, they're always good when you have a threesome. Trust me. Did I just say that? No, I don't. Did I? No.
Well, you know what I mean.
And I must say, and this is purely based on the love that we have from the writers to the creators to the actors to the technicians of Sons of Anarchy. I think the word is getting out that you and I are doing this, and there's never a better time to talk about this than right now. And the lineup is happening for when you and I decide we want to bring someone on to discuss, to talk, to chat, to have a coffee, whatever it's going to be. And not only does it help with us, I don't have to talk as much because we'll let someone else do it.
Yeah.
But the love and the humor and whatever it comes with it will be fun for the family and for everyone who's watching this, because our numbers are just going like this.
Yeah.
And when we love it, it's just and it'll be a nice thing for us, selfishly, to bring someone on every once in a while. It'll be a great thing.
Yeah. And also, you know, it's not a lie when we've said it. Like, you know, we all genuinely like love each other who were on that show, you know, when we
Correct.
did it. And, you know, something I've always been confused upon, like, I guess in this, I've always felt like a bit of an outsider with Hollywood in general, just because I started as an extra and all that. And I've always been in awe of the business, but I've never really understood, like, I've been doing this 20 years and I've done so many other things. And you have done 197 different films, and mainly films and very few TV, but mainly films. And, you know, we've done so many other projects, but I've never really understood those people who are like, they get known for something and then they avoid it. They avoid it. Like, you know, Bob Denver doesn't want to be known as Gilligan back in the day, or, you know, whatever. And then I go, isn't that silly? Because that's the one that people love you from and know you from, right? It's like a hit song from a band, right? I could see where they might not want to play Hotel California for the Eagles all the time, but people love it. And that's what they're there for, you know? So I think that with this show, and what I mean by that is we had such an incredible moment in our lives. We were all in different positions.
Yeah, we sure were.
And even like, I don't even recognize who I was sometimes when I watch it. I'm like, man, that guy doesn't know how to act. He looks different. He has literally nothing to do with me. But at the same time, I enjoy it because it was the growth phase of where I am now, right? Same with you. And I'm sure you feel the same way when you're watching it. You're like, wow, I can't believe, like,
I do. And I have to add just that because of the COVID year, because of the world changing, I have really realized there is no time to waste. There's no time to waste or to wait for anything. So if you and I can get lucky enough to have all these hundreds of thousands of people around the world and growing to want to listen to our knucklehead stories about a show that we didn't watch much of, but we starred on. And now we've got people who want to be on it with us. Everyone, please, there's no downside. Not 1 second is it a downside to continue the kindness, the love, the stuff that, and we're busy. You and I are swamped. How lucky are we with our careers? How busy we are.
I know,
but this, I get to see my buddy, Knucklehead, every week.
So much
I get
fun.
To talk. No, come on.
And we're literally in a different location every week. It shows that like we're working and still doing this.
My mom's going, fuck it, give me a hug. Just give me. I go, Mom, I can't. It's COVID. COVID. Fuck that. No, Mom. But I get to see you. So there's no time to waste. And so I'm learning from this show. I'm learning every show that we see and we get to review, and we're going to do them all. It's a wonderful thing, bro. And I'm really glad that you came up with this idea because I'm
it's so much fun.
Sinker.
That's why I think there's no mistakes. And I got to tell you, I just finished the book this morning that I highly recommend to every single person on the planet. I've been into audiobooks lately, so I recommend the audio listen, not the one I told you about, this other one. It's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. Okay. I'll put it on my socials. It's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's 2.5 hours.
No, do that. Put it on. Put it on. Yeah.
And one of the things that's said in it is it's basically looks at like the samurai culture, and it's like about looking at life and how it mirrors our life every day, right? And one of the things that the guy says in it is, it bothers me that people think they're going to live two lives, right? And what it means is that you have to do things now. You have to do it now. There is no, I know we always hear there is no tomorrow, there is no, but like you have to do it now. I enjoy so much talking with you. I'm loving this experience of watching the episode. None of this is a trial or trying to me. And the fact that other people enjoy it is incredible. And now to have, you know, one of our people on next week, and they're going to get to talk about it, like, that's incredible. That's so much fun. There's no downside. So I'm just excited. And I think that we haven't even really started yet. We have so much to go, and just seeing it grow is amazing.
Well said, Junior. And you know what? Before we start, do you want to tell the world who's coming on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll tell them. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think if anybody knows us and knows who we are, I mean, Flanagan has always been like the third, the Three Stooges. He's always been the third, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is,
If you talk to him, he's going to say he's the one, and I might be three, and you might be two.
Yeah.
But
he's
now that
number
we
one.
get to, he's definitely number three, but number one to us. So,
but we were also all in the same trailer. Explain that to people.
Okay, so on the lot, everyone has a Winnebago or a trailer, a two banger, a three banger. And we had very nice units for all of us, and we had three bangers, and it was me and Theo and Tommy that were in a three banger. Yes, we all had our own toilet, thank goodness. Yes, we all had one beautiful window that we could look out and go, Jesus Christ, is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet? We all had our own beds. Everything was cool. But whenever Tommy said something, I heard it. Whenever I said something, you heard it. Because you were always in the middle. I was at the front, Tom's at the back. You were always in the middle. And for 7 years, man, and Booney was within earshot right there. We had DL at the end. I mean, come on, man. It was an incredible time.
And it would be like we'd knock on each other's door or knock on the wall, and we were just always together. Do you know what I mean? And the thing that I love about it is, you and I have said multiple times, this isn't a lie. Tommy is, if not one of my favorite actors to ever walk the planet. I think his talent is beyond recognition.
He's beyond. He's beyond.
Yeah. And just him persona wise, but he has such a great story with this show, which I don't think he's never really told. Like, he was attached to it for so long, and like his journey on the show and who he became and having the family and doing whatever. So the reason why is, I don't know how much we're going to have guests. I don't know if we're going to do it once a month. I don't know if we're going to do it once every 2 weeks. I don't know when we're going to do it. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. But Tommy was the one that we just, he's our guy. And next week, we're going to have us three on, and it's going to be
Here
great.
we go. Here we go. He's going to be talking Canadian for everyone. You think he's Scottish, but it's going to be Canadian for everybody.
It will be.
So get ready.
A lot of A's. A, Tommy A. So let's go. We're going to get into AK-51.
I'm so excited for next week.
Can I ask you a question?
Good job, Juicy.
You're not in the episode, but was that you on the preview?
No, I don't think so. I think it actually, well, you know what? I'm not going to, I don't know. I don't think it was, bro, but I'm not sure. We'll let the people tell us.
We'll let the people tell us. All right. So right in the beginning, we're with these shady dudes with Piney and Jax. To me, I thought right away they were like white supremacists or something. I don't remember. I've never seen this episode.
I don't think they were, but what they were, I just called them crackerheads, because they're a bunch of crackerheads living in the woods who are anti-government. They want to have their own little tunnels and their own little stuff and live in the woods and shoot their rabbits and not listen to anybody. They're those guys, right? They're those guys. And I realized that, this is kind of Piney's story. Like, Piney has a real B story throughout this whole thing that you mentioned earlier, how this is season 1 again, kids. Season 1. Everyone, I had a bit of a story here and there. You had a bit of it. We had a bit. Yeah. This was Piney's episode in a way. And, fun for us. All right.
That's true. Right. We're kind of digging into, I didn't even think about that. We're kind of getting to learn a little about Piney's backstory, because really all we know about him is that he's first 9 and he's Opie's dad. Like, that's correct. And he likes tequila. We didn't know that, like, the military stuff and the guys he was with. Okay. So shady dude, obviously the kid is a problem right off the bat. He's got an attitude. We get right into a sex scene. Like, it goes right into Gemma on Clay. And it was jarring.
No, doing the nasty. They were doing the nasty right in. And I'm going on top and Ron close. And like the thing, and they're trying and it's not working. And we get something weird's going on with Gemma. And or is it Ron? Who's got
and
the
issue? Camera was like so close to them. It wasn't like a wide shot. It was like on, and I'm not saying, I don't mean it like, they looked amazing. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like,
they look so amazing. Perlman. If you can't love Perlman for everything that he brought to Clay, from his acting to his look to his tattoos, and if you can't, Gemma on top of anyone,
Yeah.
I'm oh, sorry, but where's the front row? Where do I go? Where do I get to sit with my popcorn? Because she's beautiful and talented, and they were perfect together. But I forgot about that scene.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Help me out.
I'm going to tell you. So did I. But let me tell you what I didn't forget. So this is so interesting. I need you guys to remember. And when I say you guys, I mean you two.
Wow.
This is season 1, episode 6.
Correct.
Juice, the only thing that had gone on is you and I had the patch over stuff already. We've had
Correct.
the Doberman stuff. That was the
Correct.
development of Juice, right? We weren't learning.
Correct.
I was drinking Jolt Cola. He was a computer hacker, potentially on crank and all that, right? Okay. There's a giant part of this episode that was cut. You have to understand what happened.
Was it the
Underwear.
panties? The underwear?
Yeah.
In the toilet?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because I just said, okay, Bobby getting
That
off
was
the John.
Juice.
Like,
So
what
let me tell
happened?
you, I filmed.
What happened to that whole?
They got rid of it. I wasn't in a position as an actor or a creative to ask why. I was told years later that it made my character look too weird.
Too weird.
And strange.
Yeah.
Tig, no. Tig, that's very normal.
I could have got away with that for sure.
So everyone who saw this episode assumed has to do with Tig. There's underwear in the toilet. I filmed 2 scenes that are not in this episode.
Tell us about it.
Okay. So the scene that I filmed that really sticks out, I was in the bathroom. I have my clothes off.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's never good, but
I'm in the bathroom with my
you're in
clothes
good
off.
shape.
Juice. This is, well, not first season. I was bulky.
You're big.
Bulky. I was big.
You were a junior Kenny Johnson Rhino.
Big Rhino.
Just junior. Yeah.
It's a great. I was definitely Rhino. And it could be Rhino from ECW or it could be Rhino from the Marvel Comics. Could be one of the Rhinos. But I was sitting there and I was no clothes on and I'm sniffing women's underwear that I had hidden in my cut. And I'm taking them out and I'm sniffing them as Juice.
Okay.
As
no.
Juice.
Yeah.
And I'm sniffing them. And then when I would hear a noise, I take them, I roll them up and I throw them in the toilet. And I did that a few times. And he had like, some kind of fetish with used or old or something women's underwear that I was getting from somewhere. Who knows who they were? I don't know if they were Tara's. I don't know if they were Gemma's. I don't know whose they were. When the episode aired, I was like, okay, here's a storyline we're going to roll with Juice. This is going to be some kind of B storyline of him being some kind of creep.
Yeah.
They got rid of it. They got rid of it. They cut it.
Wow.
Now,
there you go, man.
Who knows, right? Who knows
there you
why?
Go.
And I guess they used, I don't know if they ever put it on like a deleted scene thing or whatever, but it never made it.
Can I just say that, and you'll remember this, our episodes for 92 shows were always over. Like they wrote a B story, a C story. We were always over. You and I, season 5 and 6, when we get to them, we're just going to go. We knew that scene wasn't going to make it. That scene's not going to make it. But it was a beautiful novel that Sutter and his team were writing. We filmed it anyway, but we knew it was. But this was like, and this show, it was like, okay, we got something for Juice. Let's throw it against the fridge, the spaghetti against the fridge. See if it sticks in our mind. It just didn't work for them. They didn't want that.
But here's what's funny. As a writer, they had to leave the other stuff in because they need the truck to come later, the sewage truck. So they can't cut the whole thing. No. They still have to keep the underwear not being clogging the toilet.
Here we are, Bobby, getting up off the, the thing. And he's going, he's flushing the toilet. It's like, what's going on? And he's picking up this underwear.
Sack, and everybody assumes it's Tig. Everybody assumes it's Tig.
No wonder I'm not in the show. Everyone thought it was me. Yeah.
They don't know where you are.
Yeah.
So they just assume it's you. I know as an audience member, I assumed it was you. So now we go to
amazing story, Theo. Keep going.
We see Jax and I just said this. I think Jax's dialect at this point is still finding a home here. Like he's still kind of seeing it. This is the first season. I had to be reminded of the Clay and Half Sack beef that they were having. Like they were having their troubles, I guess. And this is from.
Well, if I may, it wasn't even troubles. It was just stupid because Half Sack just, he's got a thing for Gemma. We all had a thing for Gemma,
Yeah.
but how do you keep it in, or how do you be smart about it? Like, don't be an idiot. Like, I even
The
had
MILF
issues.
chubby, MILF
The
chubby.
MILF chubby, and he just was stupid. And there was a scene when we were in the Telemundo garage, and he's looking right at me and saying, "I gotta," and Clay's just right over his shoulder, and I turn him around. So Clay's heard it. He's had it with that kid, and he grabs Cherry and does the thing with Cherry. And
Right.
when we did the run, when they were doing the run, we weren't even in Charming. And Taryn went with Clay, went with Ronnie, and did the thing. So we've got all that building up, and yeah, here's Half Sack.
Yeah, and then here I come, apparently driving an 18-wheeler or whatever I'm doing.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that day? Yeah.
No, I got choked. I got yelled at.
Oh
Clay
no,
choked me.
you were bitch slapped. You were getting slapped. You were getting choked. Jax, you just Clay smack.
I had no idea how to act too. I was watching that and I was like, these are some of the poorest choices an actor could make. Like, it was just whoever, if you're a young actor watching that, don't do what I did in that scene. It was just poor overacting choices.
No, it wasn't. You were just like
It
a little
was.
dog who didn't know where to pee. You didn't know where to pee. You were just, everyone was smacking you around. It was just early days, bro.
Isn't that funny too, what you said? And it's true, right? If you really think about it, I think one of the biggest problems that we had on our show, and I say problem in a good way, is everybody, how do I say this the right way? Okay. Everybody, like, it was such a testosterone driven show that it was hard to have the ability to look weak, because you felt that if you looked weak in your character, it might translate into the real dynamic that was going on, the jockeying and all that between us.
Good point.
Juice was always a weak character, technically, right? And it played so well into the stuff that starts happening in season 4, right? So when I look at that, I'm like, man, he was really like a dunce. He's getting smacked around. Jax is yelling at him. You know, he's the stuff that Tig was doing in the early episodes of like, you want to be friends, you want to be this, I'll dunk my balls in your, you know, all that stuff. He was this weak, smiling, happy-go-lucky guy.
But the word is wrong. He wasn't weak. There was nothing weak about Juice. If you put a Doberman in front of him, he would not want to kill anything. You're a kind, but you had no family. You just probably, we've talked about this with Juice. He probably just got made. You were a made guy.
Yes.
You finally got your patch. The prospect was off. You joined the club, but you were in the bottom ranks. That's all. You're in the bottom ranks. We're going to see that in a minute. When the shit gets cleaned up, it's you and Half Sack. You were in the bottom ranks, but you were a full-fledged member, but you were just trying to fit in. There's nothing weak about that. It's just you want to make everyone happy. You want to make and you don't want people to get upset. And in this scene that we're talking about, you've got smacks coming your way from everywhere. You didn't know where to be. You were spinning top in the middle of Carol Morrow, and you didn't know where to pee. You didn't know where to go. That's all.
Yeah, and I've embraced it so much now, like as an artist, to give myself like over. And I know people use the word artist like too much with all these different things, but like as whatever we do for a living, whatever this is, playing pretend, I have embraced that. Like what makes me like almost irate, I should say, but it doesn't matter because I don't care what other people do in this life. It has nothing to do with me. But like when I see like actors, for example, or actresses or whatever, and when I say actors, I mean both men.
Sure, both.
Female,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Both. Yeah. Is like someone will get a role where they're playing like a mailman who's now unemployed and has lost his family and lives in like this low income place, and they get jacked out of their minds, and they're like, they look great. Their skin looks great because they're more concerned with the ego of like themselves than they are the fundamental way that character would actually
that a
really
mailman
be.
would actually really be.
That's right. Eating Cheetos and being depressed and not
Oh
moving.
my
and
God.
so I watched
It's
this.
so true.
It's so true. And like everybody looks so glossy and nice nowadays that I'm like, what happened to like, when you look at the character, where in the backstory did it say they go to the tanning salon every day and they're ripped out of their mind and they're on growth hormone or whatever they are? Like, what happened here? And everybody looks like a cardboard cutout of this superhero, but yet they're playing like a dad who works 16 hours a day and has 4 children and does, and I'm like, they would never be able to do 600 pull-ups a day or whatever this actor's doing. So what I loved about this show, what I really loved about it, especially in the beginning, is this look like this ragtag mess of a group.
Theo, Look at our faces. Okay. Charlie, very handsome boy.
Sure.
You, super cute. Me and Tommy, somewhat sexy.
Sure.
Booney, true biker. Opie, with the hair and the beanie.
Great.
Perlman, a face only a mother can love. And me.
Yeah.
Like,
and me.
But the talent.
And Piney.
Well, and it's his show in a way. Like, and Piney. But you throw that all together. And what Sutter and Linson did in casting this was anti what you just said about Pretty Anything. We were the guys and the girls, and the girls were tougher than the guys. There was testosterone flying anywhere. So in this scene with Theo, with Juice, dude, for me, knowing I wasn't in this show, I really got to just put my feet up and go, whoa. I'm not in that Jackal scene. I'm not in that. I should be in that scene, but I'm not.
And I remember that because Taryn and I had done a movie together, like literally
Did you?
2
Cherry,
years
who plays
before
Cherry,
that.
yeah.
Cherry. Taryn plays Cherry. We had done this crazy movie together, and we had spent a bunch of time in New Orleans together.
You
and
did.
It was a hectic shoot, and so to see her back, because we didn't get to work with her when she first got introduced in Indian Hills. Because we were doing the patch over.
I was dunking my balls.
You were dunking your balls,
right.
which was
right.
great. So
Good
in
old
that
days.
scene, in that scene, Gemma starts piecing stuff together. She's starting to say, "Who is this girl?" She has a really great scene. Maybe it was right there with Half Sack, where she questions him, "Who is that girl?"
Yeah,
you know,
it is. It is right there.
He's
got the hots for it. He doesn't even know what to say. Yeah.
He doesn't even know what to say. So now Gemma's piecing it all together. We cut to these, I guess, jarheads, they're calling them, these ex-Marines that Piney was serving with, using the AKs. That got violent. They killed
they killed a cop. They killed a cop.
And pedestrians.
Everybody. And there's poor Glenn Plummer, our boy who's playing Agent Sheriff Trammell, best. And he's handcuffed to the goddamn cop car. But okay, everyone, I want you to think about this for a second. This is a beginning of a television series that is rocking it, but we're still finding our way.
Yeah, we weren't rocking yet.
This not quite yet. But the 6th show, we're now killing a cop. Like, you
with a machine gun.
Can't. With an AK, you can't do that, but we did, and here we go. I mean, all right.
So now ready. We're at the table. We're in the clubhouse. I was thinking something. I know this sounds stupid. That this is the stuff I think about.
It's fine. I like it when you sound stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, we use the word flush a lot.
Did we?
We're flush. We always said that for 7 years. We're flush. I've never used that word in my life.
And we'll never use it again.
Have you?
Never. Not one time.
Have you ever said if someone said you have money?
The toilet.
Right.
Flush the toilet.
But have you ever said you were flush with cash?
No, never. I got a lot of dough.
I'm
fucking rich.
I mean, but even if I had, even if I have a ton of
dough. I'm flush. Never. Not one time.
If someone said, "Hey, you doing good?" You go, "Yeah, I'm flush. I'm flush with cash." Who would ever say that?
No, not one time.
I've never said that in my life. Okay, I have a question here. This is a big moment. Is this Stahl's first episode?
I said, make sure you ask Theo. Agent Stahl, what the fuck, ATF? Is this the first time we meet her?
Is it?
I think so. Agent Evil. Yeah, I think this is it. She's got the badge out. Here we go. This is who I am.
Is that our first time meeting her? I
think so.
I hope you're not, because I feel the same way. And if it is, that is the greatest introduction and exactly how I wanted her to be introduced, if that's true.
Well, yeah, the banter between her and Clay, putting in the back. Right away, we know who she is like that. Boom. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
She's got spice, some cinnamon.
Spice,
she's beautiful,
spunk.
and she's a
spunky
bit
spice.
Evil. Yeah, man. I think so. Please, family.
Spunky Brewster. Yeah, tell us if that's her, Spunky Brewster, coming in like that, and if that is the way she comes in. Because if it is, and maybe we do meet her in 105 or something before this, because this is 106, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so maybe we do, but I hope this is when we meet her.
I hope it is. I hope it is too.
Because she is. I mean, she's terrific in everything, but she really just comes in hot and heavy, which we'll see as it goes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing right away. We start to learn about Piney. Piney's questioning pretty much the structure of everything when he says on the backs of children.
I love that you brought that up. Yeah.
Right? Piney's old, aggressive, mad about.
Yeah. And there's another scene where they almost go at it. Him and Jax. And where that comes from is you have an original 9. There he is, first 9. There he is, Piney, oxygen. We're getting to know him. This is a bit of his show in a way. But Clay is in lockup. Clay's not. So you go to the VP. If VP wasn't there, you'd go to me, the Sergeant at Arms. You go to secretary. You go down the line. And here's Charlie going, you're going to go to the cabin. And Piney says who? And Charlie goes, me, because I'm the VP. And he's looking at Charlie. Piney is going, like you just said, off the backs of children. Like the old versus the young, the old versus the new. I mean, and they're in the same club together. There's some respect, certainly with John Teller and Piney. They were on the same wavelength, unlike Clay and John Teller were. But yeah, man, great writing, early days. And Jax lets him do his thing.
Yeah, and I think that was also about the time they were starting to set up potentially the division between Jax and Clay and who was going to wind up where, right? We knew Tig was with Clay in the beginning and Juice was kind of with Clay in the beginning, and you never knew where certain people were going to fall. Yeah,
no, that's true.
Was Piney going to fall with his first 9 brother, or was he going to fall with his son who was with Jax? And he was always kind of the you didn't know where he was going to go. And I think they were setting that up.
And that's true. And may I just say, at the table, at your table, I know Megan has one head, you have the other, Di has one, I have one. At our table, at the head was Clay. At the other head was Piney. Yeah. So Piney's right in the middle. Yeah, he's on the other head. Here's Piney and Clay, and all of us knuckleheads are in the middle. And Piney was right down the middle, man. He clubbed first, but he talks about me and Chibs and me and Bobby as being clowns. He doesn't like Clay after a while, but he doesn't want to like Jax, but he's given Jax an opportunity to be like his father, to be a good man like his father. And can you do that? And we're about to find out over the years.
Do you think Piney ever held a position in the club?
Oh, he must have. Oh, he had to have.
Like a secretary or a vice president?
Oh, he must have. Back in the day. Oh, yeah. And then he just got old. He couldn't ride anymore. They put him on a trike. Once you can't ride, you can't even be a member, really. So they put him on a trike so he could just. And Piney always had one foot in he's ready to sow his oats. He was ready to retire. He always had one foot out the door, didn't he? But he stuck around to help out the whole club. And so
then we go to the Stall Clay scene, which is a really great little back and forth between them. We're getting to know who Stall is, like who she's going to be. She's not a pushover, but Clay was so magnificent in this scene. Ron was so good. Just
such the way great scene.
I'm a biker. I don't know.
Great writing. There was and talk about this, Theo, but there's no effort with Pearl. No. There's never an effort. I mean, he comes into a yelling moment coming up, which is pretty hysterical. But there's no effort. Perlman is so fucking brilliant. His just the way he played Clive was seamless. It was effortless. It was really easy for him.
Well, I think that and I've always thought Ron does a lot of voiceovers, a lot. He's amazing. You'll hear his voice.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does.
He's been the voice of the UFC for a little while. He cuts all their promos. I think he was doing Home Depot for a little while.
A lot.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot. He does a lot of animated series, a lot of that stuff. I've always said there are certain actors and certain people that if they just sat down and read the phone book, it's interesting. Anthony Hopkins, Morgan Freeman, they have like a 100%. Gravitas. It's not necessarily even a character actor thing. Like they just have a thing that they're interesting to watch, regardless of what they're doing. Right?
Correct.
And Ron is one of those people that when you sit with Ron, the way his voice is, his demeanor, the way he's built, the way he looks, like if he's just reading the lines off cue cards, you're enthralled.
Please, I'm enthralled. 100%.
And that is I love that because there are very few, probably a handful of artists and actors throughout history, in many things that they just speak and you're like, wow, that's incredible. I'm in, right? Salvatore Dali is speaking and you go, I'm in. What is this guy saying? I don't even know, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
And he had that in that scene. He was just laid back. She's doing all the work and he's just like, you don't know who I am. I'm
And
the boss.
and
I
he
haven't got
had,
arrested in 6 years.
in 6 years, and
Yeah.
he said something at the very end to her where he goes, "We're just motorcycle enthusiasts." Like he put ass. Enthusiasts. Like, take my ass, put it in your mouth, bitch. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But the way he said enthusiasts, it was really with an ass.
And then he did something which was real great and shows what a pro he is that to put a button on the scene when she closes that door, he's nervous.
Yeah. Right?
He let it go for a minute and went, okay, I might be fucked here. Like, he
dropped his water bottle. He was upset.
Yeah.
He doesn't know really what's going on here. Yeah, man.
So then we go to Gemma's on the porn set and she's going through it, right? She's battling with it,
It's the big M word, that whole M word, that whole when women get a little, older in life, it's a beautiful thing, but it's difficult. And
the changing position in your life. And again, I think that Deandre, what's her character's name on the show?
I forget, but God, she's so fucking good. Oh my God.
Lulu or something.
Yeah, sure.
Otto's
old lady.
Otto's
Taylor.
old lady.
Loved
I can't
her.
Remember. She's amazing actress, amazing actor. And she has that great little thing there about telling her you're lucky. It happened to me when I was 45. So that's a great moment. Gemma goes through it. So now we get to our guy who we just mentioned before, Glenn Plummer, plays Trammell. He's with Jax. I got to tell you, I have a couple of questions about this. One,
go right ahead.
Fantastic scene. I know we've covered this.
Go.
Why was Trammell no longer in the show? What happened?
He gets killed.
By who?
I think it's that whole scene with the early Venus character. That character, he gets shot. He gets killed.
He gets shot, but I don't think he gets killed.
Yeah, he does get killed. I think we've talked about it. I think he died, and we find out about it, and it's really horrible for us. Yeah, no, he gets killed. But we don't
see him die, because I remember when he got shot. It's when the original Venus, Opie's following him. I remember that whole thing. That's coming up. That is coming up soon.
Okay, so what do you ask?
But because I was saying he would have been an amazing character to keep around for a while, but in the same time, they kind of took his character and took a lot of what was going on with him and put it in Unser. Correct?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, I've talked about this before. Sutter was on full throttle. He had stuff that, God, we could just stay with that character for 3 shows in a row, a season, and he just kept going. And Glenn was so unbelievable in the show. And that scene with Charlie.
Later on, tears.
Yeah, man.
This is that scene. This might have been the scene where he literally is in tears about his partner. Yeah,
is that the one?
Scene. This is the scene. He's in tears when Jax threatens him. Jax threatens him.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's an incredible scene where Trammell and when Charlie says, "Well, Jax doesn't even threaten him." He does, but he basically just says it the way it is. You're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, or until one of us is dead. Like, you're not going anywhere. And there's a real thump of, God, I love watching the show. And I went, holy shit, he's in a pickle. He's not going anywhere. In fact, not only is he not going anywhere, he's going to continue to help us. We're going to continue to hand him money. Sorry about your partner. We didn't do that. Yes, it was our guns, but we didn't do it. And you're not going anywhere. And he realizes his whole life, the choice that he made as that cop, he's in it until he's dead or someone else is dead.
I thought that's a great setup. So I'm very curious. I'm excited to kind of follow this journey, and I'm going to do my research. And I know the fans will tell us. I want to know what the story of Trammell.
I think she played Luann. Dandry Taylor played Luann.
Thank you.
And you're right, Theo. I just think, I don't know. I think he died. But we'll see.
We'll find out. So Agent Cohen, this guy's such a weirdo. He's so creepy. Jay Carnes is masterful. He's meeting with Stahl, first time. She gets all excited, grabs both their asses.
Well, can I just say, I got names for all of them. Okay, I've got Agent Evil, which is Stahl, Agent Douchebag, which is Carnes, and Agent Superflag, which is Hale. We have all 3 of them, all the agents. And they're all in the writer's room, which you bring up every freaking week now. I can't get it out of my head now. Every time we see Unsu's top shot, it's the writer's room. And we have all three agents, Evil, Douchebag, and Superflag, all together. They seem on the same page, but then sharing their war stories. And then at the end, like you just said, I mean, come on. Do you remember the line she said when she grabbed their asses? Do you remember what she said? Stall, she goes, mother's little helpers. Mother's little helpers. Thanks for being squeezes their buns, mother's little helpers. Like, this better be her introduction because it's too good not to be.
This has to be her introduction because they're really like giving her all of the colors. Like they're putting everything on her. Like they're saying, you're this,
every
you're
red,
that,
every
you're
green,
this. What a character. And again, it goes into what you and I always say, playing the bad guy is so much fun as an actor. Oof. It really, it gives you a freedom. You're unshackled as a bad guy or a bad girl, like a villain. You're just unshackled. So I was still I realized at this point, we have to come up with a plan. The feds are sitting outside Telemundo. And when we all walked out, I realized at this point, I was looking at Juice and I'm like, this was me still finding his look. I had 96 rings on. I had the belt buckle on that thought I was going with forever. It was the middle finger. Yeah, it was the middle finger belt buckle. Yeah. And I was like, this is going to be Juice's belt buckle. It's a middle finger. And then I just thought it was silly. But I was still finding his look. And then we come out, we got to find the plan. So now we're about to go into, some might say, one of the most infamous scenes ever on the show, the skateboard scene, the scene of.
I want to ask you, has there ever been a scene that has cropped up more that they use here and there than this one?
I think this is it. This is.
I think this is the one, and she just got a smackdown to the face. But before we get to that, real quick. Back to you boys on the pavement. Back to you boys getting tossed down on the pavement. I think this is where
we're not tossed down yet. No.
Okay,
this
good.
This was us coming up with the plan. We're not there yet.
Plan.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to
slap me because I want to talk about that. All right.
Yeah. We're at Gemma.
Yeah.
With the skateboard.
Yeah.
I think why it works so well is you don't see it coming. You see Cherry, you see Gemma. The camera moves and you go, oh shit, it's about to be on. You see Cherry, you see Gemma, and then she just grabs that skateboard and within seconds smashes her face. The majority of scene is actually her going to sit down on the curb and wait for the cops.
Yeah.
But when she says, who are you? Why would you do it?
Why would you do that?
It shows exactly who Gemma is. That's Gemma Tillinger.
And it shows exactly how great the writing is. Because a person would say that. Why would you do that? What have I done to you? I'm just walking down the sidewalk, bitch. What are you doing?
Someone else. I'm not even who you think I am. Why would you do that? Amazing. Really so that really became when everybody, what was the shirt everybody used to wear at those Comic-Cons we used to do was
what would Gemma do?
What would Gemma do? And
she'd smack you over the face with a skateboard.
Skateboard, right. So now we got on Jax. He's on the roof. He's reading the words. He's trying to come up with a plan. Great shot of the roof, by the way. Super high up. Good. He's trying to come up with it. He's reading his dad's words, which again, we know started to go away a little. And he comes up with the plan because he sees the septic truck. He sees it. This is happening. Now we cut to your guy, Crazy Kooky Cone, being creepy. He's in that scene. He's
like, what's he doing staring at the baby like that?
He's a weird dude.
And if the audience, like me sitting there last night watching the show, isn't into the creepiness of this guy, what's he even doing there? Tara's a bit of afraid of him, talking about, restraining orders. And now he's in the hospital sniffing around. He's a cop, but he's creepy. The worst kind.
He lied. We'll find out later he lied. Like, he's just a weird dude. And he's a total stalker, stage 5 clinger. Like, he's that dude, right? Okay. So now after that, Tara goes in and says something to him. Here's my question. I know a little about septic tanks. I have houses that are on septic. I have a question.
Yeah.
We're putting the guns in the barrels
Pardon?
Are we putting the guns directly into the truck, right?
Correct.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
I'm going to get logistical here.
Sure.
The guns are going into this little hole because you can't open the back of the truck. There'd be shit everywhere.
No. There's no little hole. There's a big hole.
You can't open that.
Well, they did somehow.
You can't.
So how did they put them in?
Okay. So let's just say there is a smaller hole on the top or on the side that you can put the AKs in. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you can. How would you get them out? Because you'd have to open the whole thing, and that means all of it would start coming out later. So that's the only logistical, logical reason or way you can do this.
And I'm 79,000 years old. Do you think I'm going to worry about a cop's been shot 20 minutes ago? Do you think I'm going to worry about how these guns got into that goddamn truck? No, they just went in somehow. Coming up, Tommy's just going, okay. Well, then you call it the septic tank. Honey, give me the number to Theo's septic tank in Jersey.
I want to ask. I'm going to call a septic company and say, if I had 35 AKs, can I get them in a truck? And then not just can I get them in, can I get them in? And let's see how they respond. I'm going to call one while I'm here in Los Angeles. And
do it. Well, we might talk about it next week with Tommy. We might even talk with Tommy about that. Like, remember that day? Because he was there.
The whole thing's filled with shit. It's almost impossible. Okay. So here we go to this big yelling scene in the police station. They went right into yelling. Did you notice that there was no buildup?
It's the greatest. I don't know, but I had to watch it twice because when I get startled like that, when I get shocked like that, and it's so good, and no one else is even there. There's 100 cops in the writer's room, and you've got Gemma and Clay going full yelling about your PUSSY and your small little dink and you're this and you're that and you're doing this and it's full throttle. I had to watch it again because I've never seen Clay scream that hard or for that long in the entire 7 seasons. Am I crazy?
Never. It came out of nowhere for me.
And the writing is so funny. And again, I mean, it happens in this show.
And then everybody's looks too. Like, you have to understand, they're selling it. The extras and even Hale, they're selling those looks of like, look at mommy and daddy fighting like this. No, they're selling it.
No, they're selling it. It was great. And the show was like that early. It had those moments of humor that was always filled with drama as well. And boy, did we pulled them off, man. And it was great to watch. Great for the show. It was great for the show.
So, okay. So we go right from there to the feds come in hanging off cars like the A-Team. What's going on here? Why are they hanging off the cars like the A-Team? They're literally hanging off the sides. We're standing there.
Because they got to. Well, you know, it's early days.
This ain't G.I. Joe.
It's not, but it's early days of Sons, and they just got away with all that shit. We always have this freaking heavy rock.
How many times the clubhouse been raided in 7 years?
57 times. No, I have no idea. I counted 57 times. And they always come in like big, bad,
gangbusters,
like,
Hell's Bells.
We're just selling some guns.
And they never
people.
Find anything.
Anything.
No.
Nothing.
Foiled again, like Mr. Furley listening through the door on Three's Company. They never
foiled again.
Foiled again. So, okay. This goes to one of the most famous photos I've ever seen of all of us. We get thrown to the ground. And I got to tell you, this is really funny. So we're all on the ground. I swear I could still smell the concrete. It was disgusting and dirty.
So hot.
So hot.
Dirty and shitty. Yeah.
We were all in it. You know, a lot of us.
Not me. All you guys were.
No, but we're in it as in we're in the scene.
Oh, you're in the scene.
It was cuff us for real.
Acting 101, man.
Cuff us. Put us down. You don't let us up between takes. So it's me, Jax, Bobby, Sack, Chibs, whatever. We're all there. We're all cuffed for real.
For realsies.
And every time between takes, they have to set up these cops. They have to do whatever. You just wind up staying there because you don't want to let Adam and Props and everybody undo your the zip ties every time.
Yeah.
So they're doing the zip ties.
Yeah.
Like literally even the props department is going, you don't need them fully tied. And you're like, no. I want it to look real. I need it to look real. Like, do it. and you realize your face is on the dirty, the concrete, right? You're sitting there, you're trying to keep your chin up. You're just putting your head to the side. You're laying there with your face
And it's
on.
hot. And it's hot too. I'm
And
sorry.
we're just joking around. We're just joking, and we are just trying to make ourselves laugh because we were there for a long
time.
And everything we were saying, there's a line in there where I say, "You smell nice" to start.
I loved it. Did you make that up?
Made it up. It's not in there.
It.
Yeah, we just made it
up.
It
is in there. No, you said it.
That's what I'm saying.
They kept it
in. Yeah. But we said so many other things that we were saying to the guys, and we were making fun of them, and whatever. And again, it's one of those scenes that I'll always remember. And when you and I do the Comic-Con, speaking of that from before, that's a big picture that I always sign of all of us on the ground like that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's one of those moments that I always remember because we were laughing hysterical. And the reason we were laughing is because we were laughing in real life. Like we were just having a blast at that moment. And again, like
look
said,
at
the
you.
show was
look
small.
Look at you jackals. Fall in love with one another, reminiscing about the good old days like that. Come on your bellies, ATF everywhere. Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
Do it one more time.
30 times later, we had to fake the laugh after that. So now we go to Agent Cone, and I think I'm saying it right, Agent Cone.
It is Cone, yeah.
He's sitting in Jax's room. I don't remember any of this, but man, did he really destroy that room? He went ham on that room.
Well, again, and I have to bring this up to everybody listening because they need to know this, that as an actor, when you are told, okay, Jay, we have 3 cameras.
Cone's name is Jay Carnes in real life, just in case. Go ahead.
Jay Cone, Agent Cone, Jay Carnes in real life. Amazing actor. Shield. We know his everything. He's so creepy in this. He's so freaking good. This guy has been told by the entire camera department and the director, you have one take. And you should go crazy. Where do you think you might go? So Jay, I wasn't there that day, but I've had a few of these scenes myself. You okay, I might go here. Okay, good. Now you're gonna go there. Okay, good. Then I think I'll go. And when you're finally ready, the stunt guy or girl will whisper in his ear and goes, "Don't hurt yourself. Just don't hurt yourself." And that douchebag cop went and action, and he tore it all apart.
And to touch on what you just said, the reason you have one take is you can't reset that stuff. It's broken.
You can, but we didn't have the time to do that.
We don't have time. We don't have the money. That stuff is getting wrecked. It's getting destroyed. And then the reason the camera department's asking you where you might go, just to give you a little bit of a blueprint of the map, is they got to pull focus. They got to pull focus. They got to know where you're going with the camera. So while you want to be very natural and it's all going to look natural, you also kind of have to plan your steps a little before it. So he just had this great scene where he literally is destroying everything with a bat, with his arms, with his hands, and he's trying to get his hands on everything.
And I felt violated.
I know.
As a club member watching it. I felt really violated and creepy. And
I was thinking, what was Jax thinking when he went back in the room?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he was like, man, they really tore the fuck out of this place.
Yeah.
Like
but
this looks personal.
Anything. But yeah. Yeah.
This looks personal. So, okay, now we get to Jackson Piney friction. There it is. I'm there. I'm right in the middle. He pulls off his oxygen. He's ready to go after Jax. They're ready to go.
Ready to go. That's ready to go. And I wrote down, this is the old guard with the young guard. This is the old guard with the young guard. And even Jax knew they're not going to duke it out. It's not going to get that far. But Opie steps in. It was the big line. He rips his oxygen out. He's ready to just slap somebody with his big paw. But it never goes that far. But it is the old guard against the young.
And I remember on that day, again, we're all still getting to know each other. We've been hanging around for a few months. But Piney, again, he's a presence. So when he started to rip off that shit and come after you, I'm like, geez, I hope he doesn't grab him. I hope he doesn't grab him.
If he stumbles and falls on you, you will not get up.
It's a redwood.
You will be going 911.
It's a redwood.
We got a redwood down. Redwood down. Oh yeah.
So then, I got to tell you, they cut most of that scene.
I don't know what they cut, but it's one of my favorite. I've never seen it before. I can't tell. I'm going to let you talk about it, but seeing Tommy Chibbs continue to back up and getting away from this shit while I'm sorry. I just found it so brilliant and funny and just
That was a Friday scene. We've talked about it a bunch. It was a Friday scene. It was probably 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning, late Friday night. You come into work one of those days at like Friday at 6 p.m. You don't work till 4 a.m. Me, half sack, chips.
Yeah, man. And
everybody just wants to go home and have their one day off, and the truck and the guns.
Yeah.
We got there and they had created this shit puddle. Because the water had been there so long, I guess they had built the set a few days before. It really did stink like something awful because it was stagnant.
Did it? Good for them. Little realism in the
mucky, and it was mucky and thick and weird. And
beautiful.
It just, when we got there, we probably filmed that scene. This sounds crazy because it was so short, but we probably filmed it for hours. We were in there. And once we got in the shit, because there was what we filmed, the main majority, which isn't in there, was us in the shit, like literally searching through it.
Oh.
They didn't keep that. But once we started doing that, we couldn't go back to the beginning. So what you're seeing, we really only had like 1 or 2 takes on, because the rest we were in the shit going through it. But they got to chop the fat when you're making an episode. You can't keep all that.
We've talked about that, yeah.
Plus, we're wrenching like the whole time.
I heard it, and it never stopped. But Tommy kept backing up. Chips kept backing
and Tommy
away from
really did it like he had, because one's a prospect, me being the newbie, and then Tommy has the tenure. So he's like, I'm not getting in this shit.
No,
I'm here with you boys, but I'm not getting in.
And he's right.
And I remember that night, man, we had so much fun because it was just, again, we're still trying to figure out what kind of show we're making. We're like, what is this show? It's kind of funny. It was, by the way, it was in the same yard that you and I did the Doberman.
Yeah.
So here we are, 3 episodes later.
Oh, yeah.
Same
We're going
yard.
back to, it's right there, close down the street. It's perfect.
And the one thing I always remember about the Doberman scene, and this doesn't get enough credit, and the only reason I bring it up is because it's a picture that you and I sign a lot, is when we were both looking in the fence, and I'm just like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are we doing here? But it's like you and I, both our faces are in the fence.
Yeah.
And it's like, it almost looks like the 2 guys from home.
No, we're in public school. We can't get in the fence.
Funny.
We can't go in and play with baseball.
Get in.
It's just so cute. We're missing the patch over. We're missing the Arizona thing. We're stuck back in charming here. Anyway, go ahead.
But it's funny. The same place. And I was like, oh, again, it's comedy again that was coming in. And I was like, this show's so interesting because it's so deep and dark. And at the same time, it's so fucking funny.
That was our comedy set. A comedy set just down the way. Theo, you're saying
I love the comedy set.
To Johnny and Tommy. I've been there before. I know it. It's a great
That's
set.
the same set. Speaking of, same set we used for Tom Arnold when he came on as the porn guy. We went there too for that. And that set, like, it seemed like the comedy always went down at that set. So, okay. So now here's a moment. Stahl is sitting on a barrel in the office. Really interesting. Again, we're defining Stahl's characters. Here comes, again, the colors being thrown. She's sitting there, legs wide open on the barrel. This is who I am. This is what's up. Superman comes running in. She's going to tell you. Dayton's not in this episode either, by the way. No answer. Superman comes in. You know, she has a thing for him. She has a thing for everybody, it seems. And she starts talking about the barrel. We're
going to call him Super Flag. Just Super Flag. Super Flag. He's all about Super Flag. So he comes running in. And after she just does a little bit of this, she gets to say, my nipples are extraordinarily hard right now.
Unbelievable.
And there was a scene that we didn't talk about where Gemma looks at Hale in the prison there, and Gemma goes, "Oh, I remember you when you were a paper boy."
No, that's coming up. It's coming up.
The paper boy.
Coming up.
Yeah. So anyway,
we're not there yet.
Go ahead.
Don't jump. Don't jump.
Go ahead.
Wait, did we not talk about that yet?
No, we didn't. It's in the back. It's when Gemma was still in lockup. Hale comes in and she reflects on, and I was going to talk. We just kind of jumped.
Yeah, that was before the feds hanging off the car. So can we just go back to that for a minute?
Sure.
I want to talk about that. I'm sorry who's ever listening to this. I want to talk about that scene for a second because I got to tell you something. We knew that Hale and I can't believe I missed it, these notes on my iPhone. We knew that Hale and Jackson, everybody knew each other. We knew they all grew up together. But when she says this stuff about the paper boy, it, for some reason, it hit me different, where I was like, oh, wow, this is a guy who became like one of our enemies. And he was like going, I used to be a paper boy. I remember collecting and being like, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, I'm collecting. Like,
they were good kids. They were good kids.
They were good kids.
He made a little coin. He had a short haircut that he still got today. And I learned something about Hale in that scene that we're talking about now. When Gemma goes, I still remember your haircut when you were a little paper boy.
Same haircut.
And I wrote something on my notes about, a lot of people who were born in charming stayed in charming.
Small town stuff.
Small town stuff, man.
Small town stuff. And I'm going to tell you something. I've been reminiscing and daydreaming about small town stuff. We're about to, move to this new neighborhood. And I was like, looking up all this, like, is there town halls anymore? Is there city, where the towns get together? Because there is there's such a thing to that, right? Like that Mayberry or whatever, where people actually like know each other. I've been saying this a lot to people, and I don't want to veer off the topic too hard, but I've always thought that the police who are in a neighborhood should live in the neighborhood they police. Like, I've always thought that, because I thought that that would be better if you see and live where you're doing your policing. I've always thought that it's interesting that if you own a business in a neighborhood and you live in that neighborhood, right, it makes it more personal with everyone in it, right? And then it seems like everybody might have each other's backs more. What I loved about this moment is there's always those reminders, whether it be Floyd's barbershop or somebody going back to somewhere, I go, God, this is a small fucking town.
Yeah.
And everybody knows each other. So I really did like that scene. Apologies to the Sams that I skipped it.
No, that's fine. Because we can't talk about it all. But I do, and I did reflect last night when I watched the episode, we're in this moment that we're talking about with stalling her nipples. The reaction from Hale was that of a paper boy. Like the look in his face when she actually said that, in that his look on his face was,
How did she just say that?
Mrs. Jones, I don't need the extra $1. Thank you. And he's going to run down the street with his short hair because he wasn't.
Are you trying to seduce me, Mrs. Robinson?
Yeah,
it's the graduate.
Right,
It's a great moment.
Really nice scene. Anyway.
So then we go to Clay and Gemma scene in jail. She's going through it. It's a great, beautiful, cool scene. He's sitting outside. It's great.
Thanks for mentioning that. I thought Clay's choice of sliding down, turning his back to his beautiful wife, but he's not going anywhere. But there was nowhere to sit except on the ground, on the cement. And he turned his back. And what a beautiful two shot, having her looking at him, the back of his head, and him talking to her without putting her in an uncomfortable position. It was beautiful.
It's a beautiful scene. So now we go to Half Sack and Cherry in the hospital. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, I love it when she calls him Kip. I keep forgetting that was his name, Kip. And he got all presidential with her. Like he got all Clay Morrow. He got Clay Morrowed out. He was a prospect who needed to go. If you even think about opening your trap, I'll come after you. We'll come out. We'll throw the book at you. And you may never be front. Yeah. He was full of himself. But what an opportunity. Like you may never be found alive if you bring up anything like, and she's just going, hey, Kip, I'm going to put my tongue in your mouth right now. Yeah. It'll be all right. And he goes, yeah, okay.
Because that's what he wanted the whole time.
That's what he wanted the whole time.
Yeah. So great scene. Again, we were, and I say we, but I mean, the show was really developing that Sack character. Like they were giving him all the stuff that like to really prep him going. And, obviously we all know that went a different way. So now Clay coming back to the cabin, Tommy throws out a Jackie boy there. I gotta think, and maybe somebody can correct me and not correct me. Give me the info. This isn't a correction moment. This is info moment. Info in the comments moment. This is the first time?
No. Someone said to me, maybe to you as well, months ago, as the show continues to reap reviews, someone counted the Jackie Boys. And
when's the first one?
well, I don't know, bro.
Episode 106. It's got to be close to it.
Close to it, but I doubt it's the first time. But Samly, Fam Crow, let us know. Do what you do.
Do what you
We're
do.
just a couple of knuckleheads trying to figure it out. But
somebody said this. I want to bring this up quick. I guess on YouTube you can do live episodes. Did you know about this?
What do you mean?
So
I don't know anything.
Okay, so right now, like you and I are recording this, and then we'll post it. But there's a way that you and I would do a live one, and all these people would be in the room with us, but you can't see them. They just be writing things like on the message board.
Well, then we need to do that one of these years or days.
Yeah, one of these years or days, I think we need to do a live episode.
We will
have everybody on, and they would all tell us like, and then we'll save it, and then it would be saved towards whatever. So I think we should do a live one Wednesday and have everybody like,
oh, let's do it.
So they could like correct us and tell us, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, this and that, this and that.
Done. Love it.
We'll get distracted by it, but I think we should do it. We'll ask the powers that be if that's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so the back of the cabin, we have that little thing. Clay's obviously exhausted. He's given a lot of power to Jax at this moment. It's kind of a nice little turning point, right?
Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions about what's coming up. We're gonna go drop these guns. We're getting towards the end of the episode. Piney is really great in this scene.
He was the B story. Piney tells Jax, tells Clay, tells everybody, I'm coming with you. Because they don't trust you. They're going to trust me. He's my pal. He's my, army fatigue boy from a long, long time ago back in the army. I'm going with, I'm because he's going to trust me. But like when they go back there and they have this incredible moment, which I didn't see coming. I didn't know why he was so hugging him or giving him a little respectful.
I have no idea.
Opie
this is when Opie was being touted as like a bomb expert.
I know, and I remember that. But is this the first time? Did he do it in the pilot? Oh fuck!
No, remember he blew up that one house earlier, and we all hid behind the wood chips and all that when we had our toques on.
The chipmunks, yeah, we were all the chipmunks. A Friday, yeah, we were out there with the hats on, like what the hell? Yeah, and Opie comes running out, and the stuntman looked just like him with the legs going everywhere.
Yeah.
Was that before this or after this?
Don't know.
Who cares? Anyway, what I care about is when I watch that show, and all of a sudden, Opie's like, and boom. I'm going.
Okay. I have questions. How do they know everybody's in the house? I don't want to listen. I'm not trying to spoil the milk. How do you know?
Well, but again, they didn't think about that. But what they did think about is Piney had a line in there was going, there's no innocence up there. You don't have any family. Or he goes, no, we're just the guys. We're hiding. So there's no women and children is what he said. Sure. No, just the guys.
No, but so how does he know? What if he went out? What if somebody went to take a pee?
It's a fictional show, Rossi.
I know, but I want to know.
It's just a fictional show. We can't go back. That was 2008. It's too long ago, but it's bullshit. I don't know, man.
I needed a quick shot of them all walking in the house. I know we didn't have the money. I needed to see everyone go in. Yeah.
All the elves just go right inside.
I needed somebody to come out the door and like that one guy who was the leader at all the lines. I needed him to go, lunch is ready. And everybody like comes in and then it blows up.
No, you're right. Or we all counted for. We are, Dad. Good. Chow down. And then boom. Let's go back and reshoot it.
Let's do it.
Let's go back and reshoot it.
Call up Paul Maybaum and everybody say, hey guys,
we're doing it again.
We're reshooting it this many years later. Okay, so here we go. Jack's Trammell scene. Trammell doesn't even look at him. He doesn't even look at Jax.
No.
He's not happy.
No. It's another beautiful, like twisted, spicy cop, biker, club member, VP. Again, not happy. It's not good.
Okay, so right from there, Jax goes into that hospital, and I realize he doesn't know about Cone yet. So this is early. He doesn't know who he is yet. He just mentions that some guy's on his ass and has it out for him, and Tara's face drops.
Well, but hang on a sec. I'm going to remind you of something. In the previous scene, sorry, that's a lie. In the previous episode 5, it was called Giving Back. And in that episode, we burned the tattoo off, Brian Van Holt, Kyle. And I remember when we were at the fair,
he had the barbecue hat on.
And Jack shows up and goes, "Who's that guy? Who is that guy?" Because that guy was at the hospital and he gave me a really weird. I talked to him.
She doesn't tell him yet. Well,
I don't think he actually really. No, you mean Tara? You mean? Oh no, Tara doesn't say a freaking thing to Jax yet. But he kind of. Anyway, he's seen him.
When did she spill the beans?
Coming up.
Okay.
Like I know what's about to go down in the next couple of episodes, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty for Agent Douchebag. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Because
it's not pretty.
So every season we have like an enemy. Before we get to this last season, he's kind of the enemy in season 1, right? One of.
Yeah. He's
how we had Zobel season 2 with the Irish thing, season 3, and the.
And then Stahl climaxes in 3, even though she's in 1, 2, and 3. Cone is we find out, the creepiest, darkest psycho cop that we can even imagine on this show. And it gets real creepy coming up real fast. And get ready.
Okay. So final scene, Gemma leaving the jail. Clay's there with his catchy line. I've been waiting for you all my life. Great line.
Beautiful.
There's a nice little scene with Cherry. The threesome line is fantastic.
Beautiful.
Right? I wasn't even thinking about it. Just great writing.
Beautiful.
Gemma, the real Gemma, was shaking in her boots when she had to get on the back of Clay's bike.
Yeah.
We know.
Anytime you rode behind Clay, you better strap on your boots and your strap, because you don't know where that bike's going to go.
So just a great little scene there, kind of wraps up all that tension and just showing Gemma's not just her power, but also her realizing that Cherry's like a little her, and just the whole moment there.
Great.
Really great.
And if I may, in that scene with Cherry and Gemma, just like Piney and Jax, this is the older, not that Gemma's old, because she's not, don't get me, but the old lady part of her, that tough, gorgeous, stunning, tough, just giving some wisdom to the young girl, and the young girl standing there taking it, going, I want to be you when I grow up.
So great.
It's the same analogy of Piney, Jax, Gemma, Cherry is kind of cool. And then Theo, was that Carnes in the car?
Yeah.
Trailing Jax and Tara?
Yes.
That's how we leave the show.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go.
We're going to go in a row until so we're going to do 106 next.
This was 106.
I'm sorry, we're going to do 107. Don't listen to me.
107.
I don't know what's happening anymore. So we're going to do 107. And then tell me, do you have it in front of you? It's 107, 108. Do you know what's going on?
It's over there. It's over there in another book. I got it right here.
I got it right here. Okay, here we go.
But we're going to go in order.
Let me just say it. We just did episode 106.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do 107 next week, Old Bones. Then we're going to do 108, The Pull.
Yeah.
Then we've already done Hell Followed. So you're going to have to, during the week, go back, watch that. We've already done it. Then we're going to do 10 and 11.
Love it.
We've already done 12, The Sleep of Babies, because this is back when we were jumping around. And then we're going to go to the finale
of season 1. Won't that be nice to end season 1 with the finale to put it to bed?
Do you know what's crazy? This is from SOA Mayan Addicts, the great Candace. She said, she gave me the dates. We did The Sleep of Babies, which was season 1, episode 12, on June 24th. Doesn't that feel like 17 years ago? And yet 5 minutes ago.
Holy cow. Batman. We're just zipping through this. And you're in the corner in a nice spot, good lighting. I'm looking good. And you know what, bro? Guess what? Here we go. The flanny flan. The flanny flan's coming on.
Flanaconda, flan again.
Chibi pants. I'm so excited.
so
I'm not going to do any
excited.
talking. I'm just going to let you guys go. I'm just going to sit
No,
back
we're just
and
gonna
giggle.
let him go. So I love you. Have
Love
the
you,
best
buddy.
time.
Love
Have
you.
fun
Can't-
today. And
can't wait.
let's get ready for Flanagan.
Love you, bro.
All
See you
right,
soon.
love you, bro.